Hi, and welcome back to the Ninox programming training series. In our last class, we talked about the if-then statement, and one of the things we talked about in best practices was not nesting more than one if-then statement inside of another. Well, let's say we have a situation where we need to choose one active state or one true condition out of maybe 8, 10, or 12 possibilities. We know that we don't want to nest 12 if-then statements inside of each other. That's going to cause a real performance drag. But we have to figure out a way to let the system know when it should do this versus one of the 11 other things that it might do some other time. Let's go ahead and look at our product table form, and we see that we've made some more enhancements. Most notably, we now have a little dashboard here that shows us total sales volume and total sales revenue broken down by month, with a total volume and total revenue field or formula here up top. What we can do is, as product is sold, we can enter the number of products sold. Let's say we sold 100 on January 2nd, and when we click the Update Sales button, we see that sales volume is updated by 100 and revenue is updated by $10,000. As we sell it for a price of $100 per unit, 100 units at $100 per unit gives us our calculated formula result of $10,000. Let's say that another 5,000 units were sold on February 6th. And I can type that number in, 5,000 units sold on February 6th, update my sales summary, and I see that now the volume for February has been updated, the sales revenue for February has been updated, and my totals have been updated here. What we need to do is give Ninox a way to know what to do when this button is clicked. There are 12 different options. It could update any one of these 12 monthly volume values. And which one gets updated will depend on the month of the date when the sale took place. How do we do that without nesting all of those if-thens? Well, this button, which is an object unto itself, can be a trigger which initiates a programmatic series of events whenever it is clicked. Here we've placed the button on the screen, named the button, and when it is clicked, we've asked Ninox to execute this block of code. The first thing we do is create a variable called sales month, and we assign it the numeric value equal to the month of the date sold field. Then we create another variable called sales volume and assign that the value in the quantity sold field. Then we create our new structure. This is the switch or the case switch structure. The syntax is very simple. The word switch in all lowercase, followed by the value on which the switch is going to be evaluated, and then the keyword do. Now it's important that all of the different options within the switch be defined according to a very specific syntax. The word case, all in lowercase, the condition of the switch value, and a colon. So when we read this statement, what we're essentially seeing is Ninox should evaluate this numeric field. What will this field equal? A number between 1 and 12 equal to the month of the date of sale. So we're going to have one of 12 different options. In case it is 1, update the January field. If it's 2, update the February field, and so on and so forth, all the way through in case it's 12, in which case we update the December volume field. We take the old value in the field and add to that the sales volume for this newest transaction. And when all of the updating is done, we empty out the quantity sold field and we empty out the date sold field. In addition to being much easier to read and much cleaner in terms of our code block, we also have a structure in this case switch statement that will run much faster than 11 if-thens nested inside of a 12th. Because what's going to happen is, for example, let's say we're posting sales transactions in March. Ninox will get to line 8, will determine that it's true that the month of the date sold is the third month, March. And when it has found the true case, it will execute the code within that case statement and then stop. Once it has found a true case, it will stop evaluating everything else in the case statement. So instead of getting to March, finding out that it's a March transaction, and then continuing to evaluate 9 more if-thens only to find out that none of them are true, the case switch will get to line 9, determine that that is the true case, execute this code, and stop. It'll stop with the end of the switch, update the fields, and then return control back to us. Let's see this in operation. We're going to have a quantity sold of 1,500. The date of sale is going to be March 18th of this year. And when I click the Update Sales Summary, when I pull the trigger, it finds out that March is the correct month. 1,500 were sold at $50 price per unit, generating $75,000 in sales revenue. Let's do that again, this time with another 1,500 being sold in March 21st, but this time pay attention to what happens here in the quantity sold and date sold fields. I'll click the button. It will add 1,500 more units to the 1,500 that were already sold, and then empty out these 2 fields so they're ready for the next transaction to be entered. And there we go. With 1,500 additional sales, we're now up to a sales volume of $3,000 for the month, and at $50 a unit, $150,000 sales revenue. If in addition, we sold 10,000 in February and 15,000 in January, we would see all of the months updated appropriately with our year-to-date sales volume and year-to-date sales revenue formulas, calculating the total of the 12 values in this column and the 12 values in that column. All we've done here is created formula fields, and in the formula field, we've created the formula add these 12 months of volume together, and for this field, add the 12 months of revenue together. That's all there is to it. Buttons are important because they are the only manual trigger in Ninox. This is the one where you, the user, control when this block of code, the on-click block, is going to execute. And in terms of the case switch, it's a great alternative to the if-then when you have more than 2 or 3 possible options where one will be true and the rest will be false. In our next class, we're going to start looking at the repeating structures, starting with the for next or the for do structure. I'll see you in class. Visit us at www.nioxis.com. Here you can learn about different Ninox solutions. You can get tech support through our Ninox help desk, which is available 7 days a week, or you can schedule private one-on-one concierge sessions for training, or we can help you build your application. And if you haven't done so already, sign up for our free Ninox Learning Lab. We do this every Thursday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. in the UK, 6 p.m. Central European Time. These free hour-long sessions enable you to learn more about Ninox, features, functions, and solutions. We have open Q&A where you can get answers to all your Ninox questions, and you can meet other members of the global Ninox community. We look forward to seeing you there.